take it back to the shop, and I'm gonna try to get a lot of it opened at the shop and freed up if in case I need a hand, so that when I take it home, I don't have so much to fight with. But let's get this thing back to the shop, and then we'll look it over in more detail as I can start getting into it. All right, let's see if this guy will hold some air after sitting for what, 20 years? So it's off the bead, so we're gonna have to put the jack underneath it and get it lifted up first. So that's not gonna work. She ain't gonna hold air because the inside of the rim is actually rusted out from it sitting in the dirt for so freaking long. The tire, like it started to take air and like tighten up, but it won't actually pump up because it's leaking. Where it's completely, the bead is just rusted slam off the wheels. And unfortunately, these are them stupid 4-lugs, so I don't have any laying in my spare tire pile over here that are gonna fit it. So looks like she's getting moved around on flat tires, which completely sucks. And I can't even go to a tire shop and get some used wore out tires put on because again, the rims are completely rusted. So that blows. So we're heading to the house with the Maverick. Man, it's pretty cool to own that thing. I'm not even gonna lie. Just think about that. I haven't figured out or even looked for the exact year of the car, but it's somewhere between 70 and 72. This thing has not seen roads or, you know, the air blowing across it from going down the road in 20 years. If you're a car guy, man, that's something really freaking cool. It's cool to be able to have this thing, even if it ends up not checking out and not being, you know, exactly what we need, and, you know, not being worth fixing. And it's cool to be able to get parts off of this and give it back to the Maverick and Comet community for parts to go on other cars, so other cars can keep on living. But man, this is pretty cool. It's just cool to be able to take this thing and let it go down the road again. I mean, man, this thing is from 74. I mean, the years that this thing has and the stories that this thing could tell if it could. I mean, it's just, to me, being a car guy, it's sad that it just sat neglected in the woods for all of this time, just sitting there dying and rotting because nobody cared, or somebody thought they were going to do something with it, or it was just a piece of property to somebody else. But yet now, just like all the other cars from the 70s or 80s, you know, they're pieces of history. So we're heading back to the shop on, what is it? What day are we on now? Tuesday morning with the Maverick. You see the time lapse. I got some stuff done yesterday afternoon at the house. It just got late and I wasn't able to catch y'all up. I'll catch you up here in a minute. But I was putting diesel fuel in the truck this morning at the gas station. And dude next to me said, man, you can't hide money. And at first it caught me off guard because I didn't really know how to respond, because I'm like, dude, I have a half-wrecked Duramax with a rust bucket of a Maverick on my trailer. Like, I don't really think that looks like money. So I just kind of laughed, and I was like, man, that's just a rust bucket. And he was like, still looks like a pretty nice car. And I was like, yeah, I might, I might bring it back. Blah, 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 small talk, got out of there. But it's just funny because, like, dude, there's no money there right now at all. Like, none. it's just a pile of freaking rust.
We had a big block that I literally had sitting on like a lawnmower trailer, like as in one of the trailers pulled behind a lawnmower.
This is story time with Michael this morning.
And I threw a battery on a motor just sitting in a lawnmower trailer with a winch and everything, working gas and carburetor, and it fired up on the trailer. And it was like nothing hooked to it.
It's like a motor on a stand.
Well, you don't understand it, really just sitting in the damn trailer.
So I went ahead yesterday afternoon, took the grill out of it, got the radiator ripped out of it. So we're going to rip the motor out of it in the parking lot this morning, since this lovely car doesn't really roll nowhere.
They don't build them like they used to.
Got a lot of the interior ripped out of it yesterday afternoon. Put the windows down so a lot of the dust can blow out of it going down the road this morning. I'm going to try to yank the rest of the headliner out so the floors are gone, which is not bad to me. It's not a big deal because we were going to cut them all out anyway. If we do end up building this car and we build a tube chassis car, basically, then we will be cutting all that out. So that wasn't big of a surprise. Of course, the seats like literally weren't even bolted in. Like, the floors were just so rusted. The floors were so rusted that the seat just ripped out through the floor.
Courtney, didn't you try to plug up these tires yesterday?
Yeah, the beads are so rusted on the backside. Well, not that one. I tried to pull it this one.
You're worried about the bead.
This one held air, but it just wouldn't actually hold it because the beads are completely rusted off on the backside. We're sitting in there. But of course, the whole seat ripped out of the floor, as you can see.
There is no floor.
Yeah. Besides one bolt, you always got one freaking bolt. So I tried to unbolt it, and that wasn't working. So we're gonna cut that with a saw this morning. Yeah, we got some holes, which is fine.
Weight reduction.
But I just want to get the rest of this nasty stuff out of here while it's at the shop. Got some holages up there. Yeah, got the trunk open, got all the gas tank out of the trunk, radiator.
No bags of money in the trunk.
No bags of money, nothing interesting in the trunk at all. It's actually in pretty decent shape. But besides that, no surprises, just basically trying to take stuff apart. So it's going to suck to get a lot of this stuff apart just because everything's so rusted and just so nasty. Really not feeling getting underneath it, so I was kind of trying to work my way down from the top and knock out the easy stuff. But yeah, we might take the doors off and go ahead and break them down and inventory everything in a box and just go ahead and scrap the doors because they're literally worth nothing. But I kind of just wanted to leave them together on the car so I don't have to inventory everything and to kind of keep the weather out of it a little bit. But that's where we're at. So I got this morning, to get my stuff off, I've got to fix the winch because we have got some jacked up Harbor Freight winch stuff. This winch is not even that old. These wires that come with these Harbor Freight winches are just absolute trash. Let's see here. You can just see the dust and the powder. They're just breaking apart just from moisture. And that's way up here. You know, the battery cable, technically this had originally it had another 4 feet on it or whatever, and it's still all the way up into here was breaking down. So, and also my battery was literally battery box was just sitting on there because I put it on with self-tapping screws and they have worked their way loose. And then Eddie wants me to buy another battery because my battery's 6 years old and I'm tired of spending money. So I'm gonna get these cables off of this winch this morning and inside the shop in some shade, and then I've got to remake all of these ends basically. All right, so we got our box rebuilt, put all of our ends on it. So we put brand new lugs on it. We used actually battery cable from Vance from the parts store. So we ordered some battery cable. I ordered 8 feet in case anybody else wants to do this and, you know, don't want to go out to your trailer and measure it. For my setup, my battery's right here, my winch is right here. I ordered 8 feet and I had about 1.5 to 2 feet left over, probably 1.5 feet left over. So you got all, you know, all your ends on there. I reused the little boots just to keep them color coded. And then this one, of course, is your battery cable. So I just took a piece that come off the other one and zip tied around it just to kind of note it. But they're all nice and neat inside here. All the lugs are bent at 90s. Nothing's touching. Everything is heat shrinked on both ends. I'm gonna put the cap back on this and then reinstall it on the trailer. I gotta hook this red wire back into the battery part. All that's for is so that the trailer battery charges while it's plugged into the truck for the winch. So, and it actually hasn't worked in years, so I need to double check what's going on with that. But that's all that wire is for. That has nothing to do with the winch. So let me get this put. Oh, and then you do got this one. So you got one that goes underneath the winch, underneath the bottom. This was actually a cable that we had out of a flip car that we had got. So this just already has an end on it. So we'll just either cut this off or we'll probably just bolt this straight to the battery terminal. But if you needed to make this, then you would actually need that extra, you know, 1.5 feet that you have left over. So you will use the whole 8 feet if your battery is right behind your winch. Also, you have a little wire that comes out of this screw right here on the side. Okay, it comes out and then it ties into this terminal. So when you put this terminal on the winch, it bolts in there too. So it's another little wire laying out here. That's tacky and unneeded in my opinion. So I literally unscrewed it from this side, flipped it to the inside right here, which is this little one right here. It turns around right here, and I hooked it to this lug. So that's the same wire. So it's no difference than hooking it out here to that lug or hooking it in here to this lug. But that just keeps that little wire inside the box so it don't get snagged or cut or anything like that. The terminal, the lugs that we used for this, these are what we ordered from Advance. And this is gonna work perfect for what we need. So let's see here. These should fit. Yeah, they'll fit perfect right over your studs. So if you want to order some, that's what you need to order to fix this winch wiring. So we got everything put back together, all new wires, everything's solid. Hopefully I get a freaking year out of this. She works like a charm this time, man. So no more dealing with that bull crap. It is now 12:15 and I started on this around 8:30 this morning. So I've literally wasted my whole day away rewiring my winch and remounting it and every freaking thing. So we're gonna get this thing off the trailer and then get out to Leland to pick up our F-150. All right, so what we got set up is we're going to do a reverse winch to basically get this thing off the trailer. So once I get this slack pulled out of this, I'll show y'all real fast what we got. All right, so you got that winch line going to the front of the trailer. A lot of y'all probably like, this is pretty basic. Then it comes through a snap block pulley, and then it runs to the back, goes to the back axle. So as the winch pulls it in, the car is gonna go forward. That's how you reverse winch something off of your trailer. Well, we are back with no F-150, so I go all the way out to Leland to go pick it up. Dude said that he would be there all day today from 9 to 5, basically, or he said all day. He didn't put a time on it, that he had guys coming to move cars around and get out there. Nobody. So he says he'll be there all day tomorrow, though. We'll see. I don't know if he means like his all day today or if he actually means all day. So we'll see what happens with that. Love how people waste my time.